I want to talk about the characteristic or the trait of beauty. Conference Report has been doing a lot of videos on beauty lately, and link to his channel is down there. But it's been making me think a lot more about, aesthetics and beauty and all this stuff. And previously I had a channel called Aesthetically Speaking, which was where I would, talk about certain kinds of art or talk about certain aesthetic principle and stuff like that. I didn't get very far with it. I only had like 10 videos on there, and I deleted the channel because I found little use for it. I found little use for it because I got into idealism. Now, what idealism holds, I've said this many times, that anything besides yourself are things that you can't prove the existence of. You cannot. I mean, I'll look at this cup as a true being, but I'm not sure of its being a true being outside of myself, ontological, factual existence. But I want to think about like pieces of art and how that compares to other objects. Now, idealists look at all objects the same way, as I can't verify whether that thing exists or not. It seems to me a lot like it does, because my senses are telling me that it does, but I can't prove it, so I don't know. Same thing goes for pieces of art. I can look at a painting, and I can think it exists because it's having a pretty big effect on me, but I can't be sure of it. Now, Hegel has a couple volumes on aesthetics, and he has 3 ways that a piece of artwork can be aesthetically pleasing or beautiful. One way is that it parallels nature. It's very well compared to nature. For example, George O'Keeffe's painting of a flower looks like the actual flower that exists, and that makes that very beautiful. The second category of something being beautiful is that something is so beautiful or so emotionally involving because it's so amazing that it emotionally involves you, and it sort of just kind of changes you because of it, how it's sort of moving you. It's so amazing and that it moves you. That's another category of beauty. The third one is that it's so confusing and messed up that you can't wrap your head around it. So you get so involved in trying to figure it out that you're emotionally moved, and your state is altered because you can't figure it out. A good example of that would be one of MC Escher's works. That staircase, the one that goes in a square, but seems like it's going up, but it's, how can you really understand what that's like? So that's why when I look at that painting, Escher's work of the staircase, the infinite staircase, I'm so confused by it because I'm trying to figure out how it works that I'm emotionally moved by it. The problem is, this thing is the same thing as this cup. I'm not entirely sure of its existence. It could be a representation of something totally different. So another person can go by, look at the same piece of artwork, and say, yeah, whatever, it's just a stupid staircase. It doesn't matter. So I think if you go to an art museum, or if you look at any art and you see the different reactions of people around you, you can see that beauty or aesthetically pleasurable, or artistic are characteristics that are subjective, because you can have two like, like if you have 5 people look at one painting, 2 of them emotionally moved by it, love it for whatever reason, the other 3 are like, yeah, whatever. That is that's weird, because I think that's subjective, and that almost makes me think that this is a different case for idealism. It's a different case. It's a different defense of idealism, because if you can have so many people look at the same object, the same piece of artwork, and recognize the same things in it, intersubjectivity, but have different reactions, that has to be a case for idealism. Because I mean, in like something like a cup, that's not that's not really inherently beautiful in itself. I mean, it's not what one would think would be inherently beautiful, if that is a possibility for something to be inherently beautiful. But when you have art, you have something that is supposed to be amazing and beautiful, artistic, a piece of art, aesthetically pleasurable, and you have 5 people look at the same thing and have 2 to 5 different reactions. That seems to be a case for idealism. But my main point here is that I really think that beauty, artistic, or something being artistic or something being aesthetically pleasurable, is a subjective trait. So I can't really see anything out of that. So this is why I have not been into aesthetics as much as I was before. I mean, I was doing a lot more with aesthetics probably a year ago. I was thinking about it a lot more, but it's kind of fallen off of that big thing because of idealism. But I'm thinking about it a little bit more now, because it seems to create another defense for idealism right there. Anyway, tell me your thoughts if you have any.